All right, guys, good morning. Welcome back to Hobson's Choice Harleys. A bitter cold day, but the sun's out. We're out playing in the garage again today. Softail Sally, we got back from paint. I had dozens of comments from different guys for color suggestions, which was kind of fun. I appreciate it. So what we ended up with, and I'll show you now, a neon turquoise blue. It's going to really be nice on this machine. And then I've got a buddy of mine that owes me a favor. He's going to do some royal blue pinstriping on it. It's going to be a pretty bike. So we're going to play it today with some of the extra pieces. I have a lot of the odds and ends parts done, as well as the tank and fender. So we're going to start putting some of that together. I guess we're going to start with these little handlebar risers. So these just twist on, ain't nothing to them, but they're cool. So if you don't like turquoise, this bike is not going to be for you. I like turquoise, so game on, man. Game on. So one piece at a time, we're going to very carefully start assembling so as not to scratch, ding, some of that type of stuff. So I did do just the outside of the air cleaner, and we went ahead and left the element and the inside in chrome. So that's kind of a cool look right there. Make sure we take our dust proofer out of there. There we go. Thing of beauty. Got to figure out how this goes on. This has been modified, this air cleaner setup. So it's for a CV carburetor. But we got the seam on we're going to flip that seam upside down. We're going to put it in this way. Oh yeah, that'll work. I'm trying to get this one back on the road, and then our next project is going to be going back to the old Survey car and seeing if we can't start doing some of the cleanup on it and getting it a little prettier. And hopefully spring is upon us soon, because it's tired of winter for sure. And it's kind of nice, we do have that big old King tank on this one, so now I got over 3 gallons. Kind of depends on the manufacturer. Some manufacturers of those King tanks say 3.4, some say 3.2. I'm not sure what the actual is. I know it's a whole lot more than that little 2-gallon peanut tank that was on here. So the new one is just the same old peanut style looking tank, just a lot wider and taller. So I gotta talk to my buddy Jesse and see if he's cool with being on film. If he is, we'll probably try and get a video of the pinstriping when he does the pinstriping on this bike, which is kind of cool. In fact, he told me to go ahead and put it together, and he'd rather pinstripe it together, because that way his pinstripe lines can follow the lines of the bike, which I thought made a lot of sense. Excited to see that. I've never had pinstriping on a bike before, so. Okay, so we got the riser caps on, we got the air cleaner on. Here is our shifter lever. I did the shifter lever and the brake lever, just to add a little something. Well, I don't like that. Might have to hit this with a little bit of a Dremel and put that bolt on and show you guys. Got a little bit of buildup back here on the powder coat, right at the edge of where those teeth spline in. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit that with a Dremel here later on, see if I can't clean that up a little. So we'll move on to this other piece. Here is our primary cover for this belt drive. Nice. I bought this bike pretty much the way you see it. Had the peanut tank on it that was 2.2 gallon tank, and it was matte black. The back fender was matte black. In fact, I don't even think it was paint. I think it was just primered. That's a gorgeous bike, and she runs like a scalded dog. I just, she needed a little bit of a wow factor. So here we are installing some wow factor. And all this blue is gonna have either a royal blue or a black pinstriping on here, pinstriping on the air cleaner, on the fender, on the tank. It's gonna be pretty. I'm glad you guys are continuing to watch and give me pointers and attaboys and ask questions. I appreciate it. So keep it up. All right, we're close. All right. So now we're gonna try that other lever on the other side. Let's see, so this is the brake lever. We did the brake and the shifter lever on these two. So these controls, this bike came out of Northern Illinois. And it's funny, the left side over here, the forward controls were fine. They were chrome, no problem. The right side over here, the chrome was all pretty well pitted up, which is why I went ahead and painted the levers. The rest of the forward control, the master cylinder and the foot peg, it's all kind of boogered up too. So I don't know. I've got a couple other set of forward controls, but for now I just painted the worst of the parts the same blue as I did the rest of the bike. We'll see how it goes. We don't have near the moisture here or salt. I still just can't fathom why one side forward control got pitted and the other didn't. I can't imagine there's more water on the right side than the left, but for whatever reason. So I did take this shifter bracket. The back side of that had some of the paint down in there, so I just took a little bit of sandpaper, rolled it up in a little cylinder, so to speak, and then just rolled it in there on that edge just a little bit, just to take some of that off. And as soon as I did that, she went right into place. Yeah, she's sucking right in where she should. Yep, looks good. Equal to the other side. There's our trim ring for that one. All right. So I'll get me some rubber O-rings in that diameter for those grooves. Forward controls on, risers on, air cleaner on, primary cover on. Whew, I didn't think it was gonna go this quick, but I guess that rear fender's next. Back at it. If you can look here, here is a whole lot of beautiful turquoise rear fender for this machine. So this time I'm going to check all these bolt holes first. Make sure I don't have to run a tap through anything. That all my threads are grabbing. Those ones are clean. Because that's the one thing about getting stuff back fresh like this is you don't want to nick, you don't want to ding, you don't want to do any of that stuff. Oh yeah. These all have lock washers, which is good, but they're hammered. They're really hammered. So I want to get new lock washers on the ones I can. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. Making progress. I've got a couple of these bolts in on that fender, and we're just very carefully trying to put each of these 4 back bolts on a little at a time. And then we'll get these struts on and then slowly tighten everything together. Okay, so I gotta find something that I can bridge this swing arm up. I got the lower shocks unhooked, which allows that fender to go up and down. Hopefully give me some wiggle room. Let's try that, see if that doesn't help. I'm just taking a couple little chicken bands here, tying them together. Then I'm gonna get this brake line and spacer through there. There we go. Just hang that up out of the way so I can do what I gotta do here. By Jove, I think we got it. So this is a ratcheting box end, which is nice, but I'm still only getting about a half a turn of throw just because of the swing arm bolts, the swing arm, and the shock mounts. And just all this stuff in the way. So these 2 are the toughest ones. I want to get them a little closer to snug before I put these struts on, and then we'll go from there. Now we're going to work on the top ones, and I want to see if I can find my blue Loctite I was using the other day, just because it'd be nice to have a little holding power there. These bolts up here on these struts are actually recessed bolts, Allen head recessed into the struts. And there's actually no room for a washer, unfortunately. So a little dab will do you. Let me set that right there so I can forget where it is. All right. Okay, so I thought these were threaded down here. Actually, I'm looking at my parts up here and they're nylocks. So I don't even really need the Loctite down there, but it can't hurt. Nylock for back here. And I think those are the same 1/2 inch that I got sitting on this socket. Wow, check her out, guys. I like it. It's bold. I've never been accused of not being bold with my color schemes. If any of you guys have watched, I've got my 69 FLH that's lime green. The pad head I just sold was high gloss metallic silver. The FX I built a couple years ago was bright metallic orange. You know, everybody's got a black or red Harley. I personally like something with a little flair, a little pizzazz, a little bit different. I caught so much grief on that lime green Harley that I built. And me personally, I love it. It's damn sure a head turner. Once I get these tightened, I can tighten the last 2 bolts, put those swing arm shocks back, bolt those in, and I can actually get a rear tire on this thing and get this thing off the lift. About all that's left after that is gonna be the gas tank. Hooking all that up. I'm still playing with the seat and a few odds and ends. I want to get rid of these alligator clips on the battery. I have a plug-in style for my little trickle charger. All right, there we go. So we got all that pretty surface of blue with that royal blue pinstriping through here and down the tank and probably on the shifter arm and on the primary. Just some dark blue accents to blend it in with the black and the chrome. I like it. Put my personal stamp on this machine. Then I gotta reach in there and hold it. So I don't know, this is my first Evo that I've owned. I have the 93 FXWG, but that's actually my wife's bike that we bought her, 6 or 8 months ago. And then I just got this bike about 3 months ago. I traded this and the red 81 FLT for my 62 Panhead. So I've only had this bike a few months and I've never worked on an Evo. So this is kind of fun, and I know this whole back end has all been dressed up. So this bike was I forget the letters, FLH, TQX, V, whatever. I mean, Harley's got so many letters on their bikes nowadays. But this was a Heritage Softail is what this bike is. Engine and frame, they're all, the engine and frame and title and everything's still all numbers matching. But it's a long way from a Heritage by the looks, you know, the new front end. And then I'm pretty sure this whole back end is a kit, which is the fat swing arm, the fender. These struts have been cut off because there's not even a place to mount the struts for back here. So somebody's done a lot of modification. They modified the frame where the seat goes. The tank mounts have been modified. So somebody did a lot of work to get it to this point. I kind of dig it. I'm just trying to put my own stamp on it. So far, so good. I think we're pretty close to putting a rear tire on this sucker. Fender is done. The suspension shocks are back in. So now we're getting ready to feed this rear tire in and get this thing back on our feet. So here we go. All else fails, it'll be the last one. There we go. So we're just gonna snug that, make sure, yeah, we got our axle hole lines up to at least get us started. So when I was putting that brake lever on, rookie move, I actually pushed on that brake pedal a couple times and collapsed the calipers. So just very carefully trying to open these up a little bit so I can get that rotor in there. And then I'm sure I'll have to bleed the system. Let's see what we can do with that. So we gotta get her over there. Easy as we go. We don't want to goof any of this up. So I guess that had to hang out first while we get the belt on, close to on. Okay, and then we gotta feed that caliper through there. Maybe like so. We gotta have our other spacer. Make sure that bearing race stays where it's supposed to stay. That's a tight fit. So now we're gonna easy. Boom. Spacer, spacer, caliper. We are in, baby. We are in here. We are in there. Let's do a 9/16 this way, a 9/16 this way. And we're gonna pull this back wheel back to where we had the original adjusters. Oh. So that's close. And we're gonna get the other side close. Okay, so that's where that went. Lock those down where they go. Okay, she looks pretty good. I probably put her back up on the lift after I get the tank on and get her started. Make sure that belt's true. But it seems to be running pretty clean. So we got that. Fenders in, rear wheels in. Well guys, this is almost a bike again. Caliper, we're gonna lock it down and see if I need to bleed the brakes or not. Nice. Love it when a plan comes together. Okay, so all that's locked and loaded. Locked and loaded. I'm gonna put these wrenches away, and then we're gonna set her down on her tires and see what it looks like. Get back to you. And then any of you guys that have been watching the channel, I really appreciate that, but I wanted to give you a heads up. The 1980 FXWG, the wide glide that we rebuilt the transmission, I'm actually going to pick that bike up today. Ended up wheeling and dealing for a different shovel head that I have, the 1981 FLT. We're going to get that wide glide here as part of Hobson's Choice Harleys. And I don't know if we're going to rebuild it, do something with it, or maybe just part it out and sell it. It's hard to say. We've got so many bikes here that still trying to decide what direction to go. But kind of cool. Out with one and in with another. Also got a line on another bike in Texas that I'm probably going to pick up next weekend, which is almost identical to this. It's a S&S 96-inch stroker motor in a Craft Tech Softail frame. It's got a Springer front end. Very similar bike to this one. All right, here we go. Let's do this without scratching anything. What do you think? So the logos are AMF logos at a 71 or 72. I found those from a buddy in one of the groups. New old stock. They were still in the AMF cellophane. So I bought 3 different sets, not knowing which ones I wanted to do. But if you look, that blue outline against the black on the turquoise is really kind of cool, I think. And then we're going to do black custom pinstriping on all the different blue that we put on here. So it's a good look. All right, so what I want to do is make sure I didn't want to pinch that line, the electric lines for the switch. Wasn't sure how much clearance I had, but I have plenty of clearance. One wire at a time. We're going to do this. This is such a fun bike to ride. It's actually going to be really nice now to have enough gas to go more than about 60 miles. Should be able to go at least 100 miles now, maybe more. We'll see. There we go. So she's in. I'm just barely going to put that on, and hopefully that gives me enough room to lift the back. It's a little tight in here. I hope I don't have to do any changing on anything to make that fit. I think we got it. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. She started without scratching anything. Nice to have rubber mount up in there. I don't know if you noticed when I put it together, but under all them washers are rubber bushings or grommets. So that gives that bike a little bit of wiggle and jiggle. All right, the tank is where she lives. Okay, make sure we got clearance. Yes, clearance. It'll go one way, it'll go the other way. There we go. We are back to a thing of beauty. So let me see where I've got my all right, we're digging it. Definitely digging it. All right, guys, so we are close to ready here, but I didn't realize the petcock on this sits further forward, so my old fuel line's about 2 inches short. So I am going to have to reroute the fuel line. Yeah, and I don't have any of that with me right now, so we're gonna put a new fuel line in it and then should be ready to run. So this one is about as close to done as you can get. And play with the seat, get the fuel line run, and she's back on the road. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to kickstart that like button and tune in for more fun in our next episodes. Thanks again, guys. All right, you guys made it to the end. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please kickstart that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, comment what you guys think. Let me know if you have any suggestions for video ideas or topics you guys want covered, and I'll do my best to include those in my next projects. You guys can also follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Also, don't forget to check out the Beacons link in the description below. See you next time.